Students when it regards to like the entry requirements? What do the students need to make sure that they have in their documents in order to clear the GS assessment?
I would strongly suggest is really giving sufficient support for financial documents.
And how long does it take for the university to evaluate the GS documents and give a decision to the students?
We have a model of about 72 hours turnaround for those types of,
I also had a few inquiries from other students when it regards to like the entry requirements. I know generally that students from the A level background or the British curriculum need at least two subjects to be completed, and they should have had like grades of, I think, a B and a C. And for what other things impact the GS outcome? Because these were the things that are applicable for admission. Once the student is admitted or they get the offer letter from the university, then comes the main part, which is like the GS assessment. So do you have any tips, or like what do the students need to make sure that they have in their documents in order to clear the GS assessment?
Yeah. So I think across the board for South Asia in particular, and maybe we'll discuss this later on, but we are seeing some trends in terms of from DHA perspective of some concerns with integrity when it comes to not only Bangladesh students but also South Asia as a whole. One of the things that I would strongly suggest is really giving sufficient support for financial documents. So
Yes.
making sure that, when it comes to that element, that there is a strong evidence that there is ongoing financial support.
Right.
When we're looking at your duration of studies, essentially. So not just relying on part-time work opportunities, which we definitely do have a lot of in Newcastle. So students, they can definitely support themselves while they're studying within Newcastle. But yeah, definitely focusing on that element I think would be really important.
And how long does it take for the university to evaluate the GS documents and give a decision to the students?
So we do have quite a high volume of applications coming through at the moment. I don't want to give any timelines or promises on this, but we do have a priority request, situation at the moment. So, if there is urgency, working with you at PI as well. So making sure that we prioritize those students who need urgent requests. We have a model of about 72 hours turnaround for those types of, process.
Great,
Yeah,
great,
those.
great. All right. Let's talk about the visa issue in particular. I mean, we have had great success in the past, especially for the University of Newcastle. So, how would you like rate the visa situation that is going on at the moment?
So I know that there's a declining, a bit of a trend in terms of a lot more refusals happening across the board at the moment. For us, to be honest, we're not, it's okay. It's quite stable at the moment. We are seeing increasing numbers, but not
Yeah.
numbers that we are concerned with at this
Yeah.
point in time. We are very, my team on the ground are definitely keeping track of this and making sure we're monitoring it and working closely with the agents as well, like you guys, to make sure that we assess these as they come through, and any refusals that are coming through, we look at them on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
But we do have our own integrity checks happening as well, so making sure that we're doing video calls and all those types of things as well. I think unfortunately it's one of those situations where the growth that we've seen is just been just extraordinary.
Yeah.
We've gone from something like, I think we were talking to an agent today, and something like, where they were in the full year last year is already at that point now. So we're
Yeah.
looking to double the number for this year. So I think that potentially that growth element is definitely something that we should all be keeping
And
an
for
eye
us
on.
really as well, I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but for us as well, the number of applications and the number of inquiries that we have had for the University of Newcastle, and I think Newcastle is one of the few universities that has very few visa refusals compared to if I talk about the other universities. So I think it's still a very good option for students wanting to study their undergrad or postgrad programs in Australia. Right, Bree. A lot of students have this thing in mind that they prefer applying on themselves, but they come across a lot of problems. Perhaps they are not able to put up their application properly, or they face issues with the GS. So how important do you think, as a recruitment manager yourself, is it important for students to come to agents and take their help in submitting the applications and completing the visa processes?
Absolutely. I have no doubt about that. I think the role that you play as an agent is incredibly important for the industry. Not only do you have the knowledge, but you also have the network that you can use to be able to support the student through the process. I think
Yes.
there's a lot of things that can go wrong in the application process, and I think that um, you know your job essentially is to make sure that the student gets it right so that they don't have to go back and redo the whole process again. I think
Yeah.
too it's quite costly, like imagine if a student applies by themselves, they pay the visa application fee, something goes wrong, and then if they want to resubmit it, that's another cost to them,
Yeah.
and so I think it's now more than ever absolutely important, and I think that the students should definitely trust the agents. This is
Yes,
it's
because the agents are certified from the
That's
university as
right.
well, and the reason that they have the certification is because the agency like Pi, we
Mm,
have a certain amount of knowledge and expertise in
mm,
that field to be able to help the students.
mhm,
And I don't know if you know this or not. At Pi, we do not charge any service fee, anything for any of our services to any of our students as well. So this is something that they get free of cost.
mm,
And I really would like to urge all the students, আপনারা যারা যারা এই পডকাস্টটা শুনতেছেন বা পরবর্তীতে শুনবেন, এজেন্টদের কাছে আসাটা আপনাদের জন্য আরো ইম্পর্টেন্ট এই কারণে, বিকজ আমাদের কাছে যে নলেজটা আছে বা আমাদের যে এক্সপার্টিস লেভেলটা আছে এটা আপনাদের উপকার করবে। বিকজ আপনারা হয়তো অনেকগুলো ইউনিভার্সিটির রিকোয়ারমেন্ট ঠিকভাবে জানেন না, আপনাদের কস্ট সম্পর্কে হয়তো তেমন আইডিয়া নাই, বা আপনি কতটুকু স্কলারশিপ পেতে পারেন, বা কোন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে অ্যাপ্লাই করার জন্য কী ধরনের ডকুমেন্টস প্রয়োজন, জিএস এর ক্ষেত্রে কী অবস্থা আছে না আছে, বা ভিসা রেশিও কেমন আছে, কোন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে কোথায় কেমন করতেছে, এসব ডিটেলস আমাদের কাছে আছে এবং আপনাদেরকে হেল্প করার জন্যই আমরা বসে আছি। প্লাস অল অফ দিস সার্ভিসেস আর কমপ্লিটলি ফ্রি, অ্যাজ আই ওয়াজ জাস্ট মেনশনিং টু ব্রি। সো আপনারা যারা যারা এই পডকাস্টটা শুনতেছেন, আই হোপ আপনারা অনেক ইনসাইটস পেয়েছেন রিগার্ডিং এমপ্লয়াবিলিটি রেটস, রিগার্ডিং দ্য ইউনিভার্সিটি, দ্য প্রোগ্রাম, the scholarships, everything. I hope we have discussed quite a few things that will help the students in the future to make decisions and choose the University of Newcastle for their undergrad and graduate programs. So আপনাদের যদি আরো কোনো তথ্য দরকার পড়ে, আমাদের 4টা অফিস আছে ঢাকাতে, দ্যাট ইজ ইন ধানমন্ডি, বনানী, উত্তরা এন্ড সিদ্ধেশ্বরী। আপনি আমাদের যে কোনো অফিসে এসে আমাদের সাথে, আমাদের এক্সপার্ট কাউন্সিলারদের সাথে দেখা করতে পারেন, বা আমাদের যে কোনো অফিস নাম্বারে আপনারা কল করতে পারেন, দেন এক্সপার্ট কাউন্সিলারদের সাথে আপনাদের অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট ফিক্স করে নিতে পারেন। আই হোপ আমরা আপনাদের সব প্রবলেমসের সলিউশন করে আপনাদের ড্রিম ডেস্টিনেশনে আপনাদেরকে স্টাডি করার জন্য হেল্প করতে পারবো। অন দ্যাট নোট, Bree, I would really like to thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule and coming to our office and to the studio and doing this podcast. I hope that the students and the audience who will be seeing this will have significant insights about the university, and they will be motivated and they will rush to our office to do the applications.
mm,
Before we leave, we do have the July intake coming up, right?
mm.
And then, sorry, the August intake
Yes, correct.
actually, and then after that we have another session in
So
um,
the next one we'll have in semester one, 2027, which is now,
yes.
we had a earlier academic calendar this year, but actually we're pushing that back now. So now it will begin in February.
ওকে, গ্রেট। সো এখনো সময় আছে অগস্ট ইনটেকের জন্য। যারা অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করতে চান আমাদের অফিসে চলে আসেন। আমরা হচ্ছে আপনার অগস্ট ইনটেক ইজ স্টিল ওপেন, সো উই ক্যান অ্যাপ্লাই ফর ইউ ওইটার জন্য। অ্যান্ড দোজ স্টুডেন্টস যারা এই বছরের লেটার হাফে আপনারা পরীক্ষা দিচ্ছেন, এ লেভেলস বা এইচএসসি, যারা জুন জুলাইতে এক্সাম দিতেছেন, তাদের জন্য উই হ্যাভ দি February 2027 intake coming in as well. So yeah, please come to our offices and we'll help you to get to your dream destinations. On that note, thank you again, Bree, and yeah, hope to have similar sessions like this with you later on in the future.
Yes, thank you for having me. And for all the students who are listening, please come find me when you come to Newcastle. I'll be more than happy to meet you and answer
Yeah.
any questions.
So, Bree, I wanted to talk to you about the location of the University of Newcastle specifically. How far away is it from Sydney, and what are the infrastructures like? How good is the transport? How do the students travel? What is it like?
Yeah, absolutely. So Newcastle is pretty close to Sydney. We're roughly it's about 3 hours on the train, 2.5 to
Okay.
3 hours on the train. However, we do have a Gosford campus located in the Central Coast, right on the train line. So that's
All
only about
right.
an hour away from Sydney, which is
Okay.
much more convenient.
Right.
We within that campus too, we've opened a large variety of degrees
Programs.
and
Yeah.
programs now as well. So a lot more opportunities for students. We've also just secured a spot to be able to build some accommodation facilities. So that should be coming and fully built by 2028, I believe. So lots of opportunities, from Sydney, Gosford, and then also to Newcastle. In
Yeah.
terms of, transport as well. So within Newcastle, it's all very interconnected. So there is a train line that runs through the city. There's also a tram that kind of runs through the city as well. So very convenient. We also have our Newcastle airport, which has just opened some international destinations as well. So now students can actually travel from Singapore to Newcastle.
Newcastle
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah, so it's not directly, it's via Indonesia and Bali. So there's a small transfer there. They just get off the plane and they get back on the same plane and then come to Newcastle. So when you think about travel times on train
Yeah.
or driving, it really makes a lot of sense. They can just come straight to Newcastle,
Yeah.
and then there's it's much more convenient for the students to be able to then go straight to the campus as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.